Hi everyone, this is Maya and this is VEDA day 5. And today was a pretty good day as far as my writing goes. I spent the majority of my day casting and working on my characters. And I'm still working on my characters. Right now I'm writing character histories, but just naming my characters and finding actors for my characters was a huge milestone for me because now I can picture them. I know that sounds really weird. I don't watch very much TV. I watch Netflix a couple times a week. I don't really watch movies anymore. I don't go to the movie theater. I haven't had cable in about 10 years. So TV and movies aren't really a large part of my life, but being able to cast a character and see a photo of my character really helps me be creative when I'm developing my character. I tend to do a lot of things when I am developing my characters, and that's really just one of them. I go through, like, I have, if I have an Asian male character who's on the rough side with tattoos, like, I'm Googling that in Google Images and I'm looking for actors that really fit that profile. And as I'm looking through them and I'm thinking of the name that I've chosen for my character, a lot of times the right actor will jump out at me. And so that's how I cast my characters. For my characters' names, I know a lot of people use a lot of different things to look for develop characters' names. Scrivener has a wonderful name generator, which is helpful. I also use a lot of baby name websites, and Wikipedia is actually really good if you're looking for surnames for various cultures and countries. And so I tend to do that. I don't really just pick a name that sounds good. Like for these characters, I have five sisters, and so I've really chosen names that kind of remind me of their role or their relationship with each other. Because when you have a bunch of siblings, there's always a strong one, there's always a weak one, there's the middle one, there's a spoiled one, those kinds of things. And I, they, the character names definitely correspond with their meaning within the story to me. I also tend to pick names based on origin, the year that they were born. Like if someone's 40 years old and they're from England, I'll look at what names are most popular in England. And then if their parents are, everyday type people, I will pick something that's really popular. If they were kind of eccentric or artistic, I may pick something that was less popular or more unique. And so I tend to think about their upbringing and their history, and that leads me to a name because while most people fit their names, it really has a lot to do with the parents. The parents are the one choosing the name, and so like one thing that I've noticed is most people, when they say their name, it's like, yeah, that fits. The few people I've met whose name dramatically does not fit usually had horrible relationships with their parents. It was like there was no parental intuition whatsoever. And so that's like a key. Like if I have a character that had like really bad relationship with their parents, or their parents just weren't like in touch, maybe I'll pick a name that doesn't really fit their personality. Um, but those are the types of things I think about, is what kind of parents did this character come from, and usually that will lead me to a name. So I've managed to name all of my main characters. That's 12 people in total across 5 books. And that was just, it was insane making. And in the process of doing that, I did a lot of thinking, and I've started to fill out their biographies, which takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of thought. I'm realizing that as writing has become more a part of my everyday life, NaNoWriMo is becoming less important. I use NaNoWriMo as a way to reinvigorate or touch bases with my regular writing habit. But as I've developed a regular writing habit, finding it's not really that important. And as I'm sitting here and I'm looking at Camp NaNoWriMo, I don't feel bad about about being behind or about lowering my goal. Like, I don't even really feel like I have a goal. It's just a matter of getting work done because I know that the work I'm doing is going towards something. And I feel like I'm going to have a lot more progress using NaNoWriMo to get really good, detailed, meaty outlines than I would rushing through book one and having to rewrite the whole thing because I had no idea where it was going. So I feel really good about it, and I'm realizing that my relationship with my writing is really changing. I'm also noticing that all the short stories I've been reading for my podcast is really changing the way I write in a good way. My writing's much more directed. I have a better idea of where it's going. I feel like my writing is stronger, and I'm having an easier time letting go of things that I think are nice or pretty but don't work, um, which is something I think every writer struggles with. But reading many good stories and still spotting things that I would take away is making it easier for me to cut out things in my own work. Because if I can read a story and find something wrong with a master, then there's tons of stuff I can cut. And so, in that respect, the podcast has been really good for my writing. I also think just because I'm reading such a wider genre of fiction and I'm finishing something new every week. Whereas when I just read novels, I only finish a novel every few weeks because I'm not a very fast reader. And so, I feel like I'm getting more done by concentrating it. And I can't really explain it, but it's really noticeable in my writing. So that's where I'm at. And on that note, ciao.